Have you ever wondered how your phone just knows it's you? Or how Alexa understands exactly what you're asking? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on all of it. We're going to see how AI reads your face, hears your voice, and even finishes your sentences. Let's dive right in.
It really does feel like magic, doesn't it? Your phone unlocks with just a glance, your smart speaker gets what you're saying, but it's not magic. So the big question for us today is simple. How does it actually work? Let's break it down piece by piece. All right, first up, sight. How on earth does a machine look at a picture, which is just a big collection of pixels, and somehow find a face? And not just any face, but your specific face.
Well, it really boils down to this simple four-step process. First, you've got the input. The AI doesn't see a face, it just sees a grid of pixels, raw data. Step 2 is where things get interesting. It turns that picture into numbers. It measures all the key distances, the space between your eyes, the width of your nose, that kind of thing. Then, in step 3, the model sifts through all those numbers, searching for a unique pattern. And finally, step 4, the output. It's a match. It's a journey from a simple photo to a mathematical signature. Now, here's a really crucial distinction we need to make. There's face detection, and then there's face recognition. Detection is just the first part. The AI basically asking, hey, is there even a face in this picture? But recognition is the next level. It's asking, okay, I see a face, but whose face is this? One is about finding a face in the crowd. The other is about putting a name to it. So how does it actually tell you from me? The secret is something called an embedding. The best way to think about it is like a unique digital fingerprint for your face. It's a long string of numbers, a one-of-a-kind mathematical address that belongs only to you. This is what lets an AI pick your face out of a million others with scary accuracy. And look, this stuff isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. You're using it every single day. Every time you unlock your phone with your face, that's recognition. When that Instagram filter sticks perfectly to your nose and eyes, that's detection. And it's the very same tech that helps you zip through automated security at the airport. Okay, so that's sight. But what about hearing? How does an AI go from the messy chaos of a sound wave to understanding a clear command like, hey, play my favorite song? And you're going to see a surprisingly similar pattern here. The input is just your voice, a raw sound wave. The AI can't really do anything with that. So in step 2, it does something clever. It turns that wave into a picture of the sound, which is called a spectrogram. Now that it has a visual it can work with, the model analyzes that sound image for patterns. And from there, it gives you an output, either writing down what you said or just doing what you asked. So what is a spectrogram, really? It's basically a visual fingerprint of your voice. It maps out all the different frequencies, the highs and lows, over time, creating a totally unique image. And this is the key. It allows the AI to see sound. It turns an invisible wave into a concrete pattern it can actually recognize. You hear this technology at work constantly. When you're asking Alexa for the weather, it's using a spectrogram to figure out what you're saying. When a call center analyzes your tone of voice to see if you're happy or angry, that's speech AI. Heck, it's even getting good enough to narrate entire audiobooks now. Okay, so AI can process pixels and sound waves. But honestly, the next one is where things get really wild. How does it tackle something as slippery and complex as human language? Let's dig into how AI actually understands text. And believe it or not, we see that same fundamental process pop up again. The input is just a sentence you type. The AI immediately gets to work breaking that sentence into little numerical pieces called tokens. Then it analyzes the mathematical relationships between all those little pieces to understand the context. And its final output, its whole job is just to predict the most statistically likely next word. That's it. The secret sauce here is a process called tokenization. And the best analogy is cooking. You wouldn't just throw a whole carrot and onion into a pot, right? No, you chop them up into smaller, manageable pieces first. Tokenization does the exact same thing for a sentence. It dices it into words, or even parts of words. Those are the raw ingredients the AI needs to start understanding language. And you are using this constantly. Every single time you have a conversation with ChatGPT, you're relying on tokenization. You know that autocomplete on your phone that kind of creepily knows what you're going to say next? That's it in action. This is the engine that's driving this whole new generation of incredible AI tools. So we've looked at how AI handles sight, sound, and language, each in their own little box. But the real future, where things are headed right now, is when it brings them all together. So think about the journey we've just been on. First, AI learned to see, turning the visual world of pixels and light into mathematical patterns it could understand. Then it learned to hear, converting the messy analog world of sound waves into structured digital data it could actually analyze.
And finally, it learned to process our language, mapping all the complex relationships between words to figure out what we actually mean. Each one of those was a huge deal on its own, but the real game changer, what's happening right now, is that the most advanced AIs are unifying these senses. Imagine showing your AI a picture, asking it a question out loud about that picture, and getting a coherent verbal answer back. This is called multimodal AI, and it is a massive, massive leap forward. And listen, this isn't some future prediction. The biggest names making headlines right now, OpenAI's GPT-4o, Google's Gemini, Anthropic's Claude, they are all built on this multimodal foundation. This is the new frontier, and we're already here. Okay, so we've gone through all the nuts and bolts. What's the big takeaway here? It's really about changing how we think about all this, moving away from this idea of magic and getting down to the actual method.
So if you remember one thing from all this, let it be this. AI is not magic. It isn't thinking or feeling the way we do. At its absolute core, it all comes down to three things: math, a whole lot of data, and an unbelievable knack for finding patterns. Whether it's your face, your voice, or your words, it all gets converted into numbers so the AI can do its work. And once you get that it's all just math and patterns, it totally changes how you see these tools, right? It takes the magic away and lets us be more deliberate, more critical users. So I'll leave you with this thought. Now that you know the how, what do you think is the most important thing for us all to remember as this technology keeps reshaping our world? Thanks for digging into this.